I choose this one because it has multiple beings there, multiple I's, multiple me's, which are really multiple you's. But anyway, I was just wandering along on the flow of heart, and something came to me that it might be nice to share this kind of meditation that I was in the midst of. I don't do formal meditation, but I've carved out such peace and quiet here where I live, or life has graced me that way, that it's easy to walk in meditation and just be there. Anyway, I was thinking, pondering, that what is upcoming, which I don't even want to label it 2012. I grow tired of this nonsense of trying to put a date on things and all of the tags and the fear and the craziness that gets associated with that. I don't want to bring that in. And so what I want to do is take you on a journey of a new way of looking at you. Let's expand, shall we? So settle deep into heart. Just put your attention in the midst of your chest. That's all you need to do. Nothing specific here, very general. And come along. Now, we're getting rid of all limits. That's the work of my journals, and it's the work of my life, is excavating old thoughts, beliefs, ideas, attitudes that no longer serve. If they don't serve in my now, they're useless. And so they don't deserve my focus. Deserve. Interesting, that. All right, so we've discussed how you're not limited in time. We have our consciousness focused in one incarnation, but it's best not to identify with that. As we back off from this strong identification with the body, with the mind, with the ideas, the concepts, the current life, as we back off into realizing the greater self, and all we need to do is step into heart for that. That's the portal, the key, the entree into the inner kingdom, which is vast beyond vast. All right, as we step back from such tight identification with the body-mind, we begin to find that when people poke fun at us or our ideas or something, we're unconcerned. We don't even feel the need to defend. And that's just evidence of not being so tightly identified any longer. Okay, so perhaps you can begin to see the self now, and this is somewhat linear, but go with me here, in terms of a long worm or snake or a rope with many, many knots in it. Each one of these being a lifetime. And you are the fullness of that being. The lifetime you're focused in now, we could say, if it was a snake, that this is the head of the snake. But you really do exist just as fully, just as equally, in all those other bodies, all those other times, dimensions, whatever, and wherever, whenever, and whomever. It's all you. And so it can be beneficial to look at the life this way. As we take a perspective like this, it can even be downright practical, because we can, if we stand back from it and look at the snake, we can see where there's a bulge or a problem or something that's not quite right, something that's causing a pain, and we can zoom in on that particular knot on the rope or vertebra of the snake to get a better sensing of what's out of order there. So there are all kinds of things that can be done, games that can be played this way, but I'm not for doing that right now. That's just mentioned in passing. So, and I got this idea about the snake from someone else, and right now I don't remember if it was Pleiadian, Andromedan, or what. Maybe the Syrian High Council. But it was a higher dimensional being. Let's say if you're looking from 6D down on 3D beings, what they see is the fullness of who and what we are. We don't commonly perceive that, but time isn't the structured limit that we've taken it to be here in this current experience on Earth. And so as we get rid of feeling that we need to be structured and limited that way, our experience can greatly expand. Now, what we're doing here is we're looking at the rope with the knots or at the snake, and yet this is still linear, okay? You may be in very different forms, and I just laugh. I could just about roll with laughter because many or most of us, especially the what could be called older souls, you know, that's kind of a weird way to say it. If you've been around for a while, you've been a reptile. You've been a reptilian. We seek ultimate experience and balance across everything. And so the way you understand something or someone is to walk a mile in those moccasins. And so I don't know about you, but I have no problems with that. So we've been on the dark side and explored that. We've been on the light side and explored that. Our overall thrust, of course, is to light, but it's to balance. We contain both. And being unbalanced is not going to get us where we want to go, because all we're doing is forcing a state of equal imbalance in the other direction to pop up in our future, because believe me, the universe wants balance and it moves in that direction. And it can take loads of time, or we can shorten it by manning up and just being willing to sit with whatever arises within us and not crush the bad and only welcome the good. That is unbalanced. All right, so continuing, we have this snake. Now, expand out with me, if you will. You're not the body. The body is a container. It's a vehicle for an experience. It's like saying, I am my Toyota truck, or I am my Mercedes Benz, or I am my Volvo on its last wheels, you know? It's about as silly to be concerned with the identity of the container. It really, honestly is. And as we step up above this way and have a good look, there's laughter enough in it for all of us. You know, trust me, it's there. But now let's look at it another way. Okay, so we exist, we've seen ourselves here across time and space. But it's still linear. Let's expand out now into dimensions. Just as we occupy all of our lifetimes right now, all there is now, and in the heart only is this approachable. Forget with the mind. Just don't go there. It's pointless. It just gets in your way right now. All right, so you also exist across many dimensions. Maybe all of them. Maybe we're absolutely everywhere. Ultimately, we are. Ultimately, everything is one, and I am that. And anyone can say, I am that. But more specifically, with, you know, we have individuated. We have gone out from cosmic, whatever it is, you know, and stepped into manifestation, stepped into the creation. Since we have done that, we've been using containers of various sorts, and we've been existing across multiple dimensions. We work in the day, we work in the night. We school in the day, we school in the night. There are universities of spirit that many of us attend and have been attending for many long lifetimes. You know, these things go on as the body rests. Now, you might wonder, well, why do I have access to none of this? Why do I not remember it? Well, for one, try making room for the possibility that it's so. That helps. And also, it's just more and more of getting rid of the sense of limitation, the sense that you are limited in any way. We have self-imposed cages around us, and so we're taking down the bars. We're removing the floor tiles, you know, the ceiling tiles. We are busting out. And so see yourself not only in all of these bodies, which can be very helpful and very useful. You will see them in different universes, in just so different that there's no conception possible to the 3D mind of what some of that is like. You can go back into, even if you just stick with your Earth lifetimes, you can go back to a time so early, so far back, that were you to try to commune with that and ask it questions phrased from the now, there's no point of conjunction. There's no way that that's going to work, because the whole consciousness and everything in it was so different. And that's just here on this earth and just here in a human body. That's not even in your praying mantis body, in your canine body, your feline body, your whatever, you know. We haven't been only human. And this is a really good time and place to be getting rid of every last shred of prejudice of any kind that we have against anything or anyone. I mean, come on. We are that, whatever it is. It is so silly to reject any part of life. It doesn't mean invite it to tea, but to reject it is patently ridiculous when seen from a higher space. All right, so we have this being now that is less easy to visualize as a body, that's extending into all kinds of different planets, suns, solar systems, and so on, all kinds of different bodies, and take it further into all kinds of different dimensions. When we say free will, you know, that's kind of a limited commodity in 3D. And we get to exercise choice in certain ways. You know, you can buy this brand versus that brand, you know, you can go left versus right. But there's a lot of things that we would do if we could, and it seems that we can't. And vice versa, you know, there's a lot of things that come into the life that we would reject if the 3D part of us was making the choice. Well, I'm going to say, thank goodness here, that a higher part of us is in charge of that. All right, our higher self is involved very much in making those choices. And so we can wrap our arms around that and welcome it and not fight so hard. You know, we're fighting against life, and it's really kind of ridiculous. In a way, it's like a little kid laying down on the floor and kicking and screaming and having a tantrum. And what good does it do? We're fighting against our very own self, because your self is the all that is. And so my suggestion here is to spend more time and heart and be aware that you're unlimited. And then let me touch bases on the way out here with the whole 2012 thing again by saying that I think what is coming is along the lines of a great big cosmic orgasm, in that we're integrating now with all of this. All of it is coming together, and we are coming into our higher consciousness, where we can be aware of much more of the fullness of that, and the stepping up, the upliftment, ascension, whatever you want to call it, I think in a way is like one great big cosmic orgasm.